Track 51, Unit 8, In the Future. Let's start. A. Let's talk.
I'd like to visit the Amazon jungle someday.
Why?
Because I'd like to see a rainforest.
What would you do there?
I'd look at the plants and animals. What would you like to do in the future?
I'd like to climb Mount Everest.
Why? What would you do at the top?
I'd stand there. I think it would be fun to stand on the highest mountain.
I don't think so.
If you ever go to the rainforest, send me a postcard.
I will. And remember to send me a postcard from Mount Everest.
I promise.
Track 52, B. Let's practice.
I think it would be fun.
I don't think it would be fun.
Track 53, C. Practice the words. Ask and answer. Number 1.
Visit the Amazon jungle.
Number 2.
Climb Mount Everest.
Number 3.
Dive to the bottom of the ocean.
Number 4.
See the pyramids of Egypt.
Number 5.
Ride an elephant.
Number 6.
Travel to the moon.
Track 54, C. Practice the words. Ask and answer.
What would you like to do someday?
I'd like to visit the Amazon jungle. Track 55. Let's learn. A. Practice the words. Number 1.
Go to Antarctica.
Number 2.
Go to Mars.
Number 3.
Meet a TV star.
Number 4.
Meet a sports star.
Number 5.
Buy a pony.
Number 6.
Buy a motorbike.
Number 7.
Go kayaking.
Number 8.
Go skydiving.
Track 56. B. Practice the sentences.
If I could go anywhere, I'd go to Antarctica. If I could meet anyone, I'd meet a TV star. If I could buy anything, I'd buy a pony. If I could do anything, I'd go kayaking.
Track 57. B. Practice the sentences. Number 1.
If I could go anywhere, I'd go to Antarctica.
Number 2.
If I could go anywhere, I'd go to Mars.
Number 3.
If I could meet anyone, I'd meet a TV star.
Number 4.
If I could meet anyone, I'd meet a sports star.
Number 5.
If I could buy anything, I'd buy a pony.
Number 6.
If I could buy anything, I'd buy a motorbike.
Number 7.
If I could do anything, I'd go kayaking.
Number 8.
If I could do anything, I'd go skydiving.
Track 58. C. Practice the questions and answers.
If you could go anywhere, where would you go?
I'd go to Hawaii. Track 59. C. Practice the questions and answers. Number 1.
If you could go anywhere, where would you go?
I'd go to Hawaii.
Number 2.
If you could do anything, what would you do?
I'd go surfing.
Number 3.
If you could meet anyone, who would you meet?
I'd meet a rock star.
Number 4.
If you could buy anything, what would you buy?
I'd buy a car.
Number 5.
If you could meet anyone, who would you meet?
I'd meet a movie director.
Number 6.
If you could go anywhere, where would you go?
I'd go to London.
Track 60. D. Practice the grammar chant.
If you could do anything, what would you do?
I'd climb Mount Everest from Kathmandu.
I would, if I could.
I would if I could, but I can't.
If you could speak any language, what would you speak?
I'd speak French, English, Japanese, and Greek.
I would if I could. I would if I could, but I can't.
If you could buy anything, what would you buy?
I'd buy a little plane and learn to fly.
I would,
if I could. I would if I could, but I can't.
Track 61. Let's read. A. Read the new words.
Alaska, glaciers, Galapagos Islands, giant tortoises, Mayan, Kenya, wild, India, Taj Mahal.
Track 62. B. Read.
If you could go anywhere, where would you go?
I'd like to go to Alaska. I'd love to ski there. There are also a lot of glaciers in Alaska. I've never seen one before, but I'd like to.
I'd go to the Galapagos Islands. I've heard they have penguins and giant tortoises there. I'd like to see those.
I'd go to Mexico and see the Mayan pyramids. I've seen the pyramids in Egypt, but I'd like to see the Mayan pyramids too.
I'd go to India. I love hot, spicy food, and I like Indian music. I'd also like to see the Taj Mahal.
I'd go to Kenya to see wild animals and take pictures of them. I've seen animals in a zoo, but I'd like to see wild animals in their homes.
Track 63. Units 7 and 8. Listen and review. A. Listen and check. True or false? Number 1.
If you could do anything, what would you do?
I'd visit Mars.
That would be fun.
Number 2.
If you could go anywhere, where would you go?
I'd go to the Amazon jungle. I'd like to see the rainforest.
That's a great idea.
Number 3.
If you could meet anyone, who would you meet?
I'd meet my favorite TV star.
I would too.
Number 4.
What would you like to do someday?
I'd like to climb Mount Everest.
Number 5.
If you could go anywhere, where would you go?
I'd go to Egypt and visit the pyramids.
Number 6.
If you could meet anyone, who would you meet?
I'd meet my favorite soccer star.
Track 64. B. Listen and number. Number 1.
Amy learned how to walk when she was 1.
Number 2.
Brad learned how to do a handstand when he was 10.
Number 3.
Nick wasn't able to ride a bicycle when he was 4.
Number 4.
Jackie was able to do a somersault when she was 6.
Number 5.
Sam and Brian were outgoing when they were young.
Track 65. Let's read about the surprise party.
What's wrong, Everett? You look puzzled. You shouldn't look puzzled on your birthday.
said JJ,
I am puzzled.
said Everett.
My mother gave me this birthday card and I can't figure it out.
Let me see.
JJ looked at the card,
Can't you read the code?
Oh, that part is easy.
said Everett,
I don't understand the numbers.
said JJ.
N could be north and W could be west.
So?
I think these show latitude and longitude.
How do they help me find the place?
asked Everett.
It's simple.
JJ opened a website on her computer.
We type in the numbers and press the button.
Look at the map.
said Everett,
That's our city.
Now we zoom in.
said JJ,
That's our neighborhood.
said Everett,
And we zoom in some more.
said JJ,
That's the park.
said Everett,
Why does it show our park?
Come on,
said JJ.
let's go and see.
They raced to the park.
Surprise!
Happy birthday, Everett.
said JJ,
Wow,
said Everett.
this is great. Thanks.
End of CD 2.